So today I'm in downtown Montreal at LaRonde, which is a park that I've heard some very scathing things about. So we'll see how it is. I'm sure I'm still gonna have fun because they have a B&M fake hypercoaster, a Boomerang, an SLC, a Batman clone, and some other family coasters. So let's get in and ride some roller coasters. Alright, just got in the park and there's this iconic like art piece here in the entrance, which is kind of cool. Most parks don't really have like a centerpiece that's not like a carousel or something, so that's pretty cool. I have no idea where I'm gonna go, so let's just go somewhere in the park. So I guess we ended up at Boomerang first, so let's go ride a 1984 Vekoma Boomerang. And Boomerang does not look operational, so giant wooden coaster, I guess. This is a 1985 William Cobb giant racing wooden coaster, which doesn't race anymore because a lot of wooden racing coasters don't race anymore for some reason. So let's go see how it is. I've never like watched a POV or anything of it. I just knew it was in the back of LaRonde, just like a giant wooden coaster that doesn't really seem like it has great reviews. So let's go ride Monster. Wow, that's gotta be one of the coolest entrances to any roller coaster. Wow, that's awesome. That line does not look good, especially for one train. Wow. Well, since Monster has a little bit of a long line, I gotta find another ride, which probably is gonna be Goliath here, a 2006 B&M mini hypercoaster. Never been on a B&M mini hypercoaster. The only mini hypercoaster I've been on is Steel Eel at SeaWorld San Antonio, which is in Oregon, and I absolutely love that thing. So we'll see how B&M takes the small hypercoaster concept. So I'm very excited for Goliath. So let's go. Alright, just got off of Goliath, and that thing is really fun. That's an awesome hypercoaster. I mean, I know it's a mini hypercoaster, but like, it's the most traditional like hyper layout you could ever imagine. It's literally lift hill, airtime hills, turn around, more airtime hills, and you're done. And it's just perfect. Like, you cannot go wrong with a hypercoaster. Yeah, it does have a little bit of a rattle, but I don't know if it was just the seat, specific seat I was in or something, but yeah, that was really, really fun. I'm so glad LaRonde has this. Without this, I feel like LaRonde would be a lot of a worser park. But yeah, I feel like they should build more mini hypers because we haven't gotten a hypercoaster in 6 years now, with the last one being Candemonium in 2020. And presumably about cost they aren't building anymore, and they are such good rides that even if they can only afford mini hypers, they should definitely do it because they're still really, really fun, even though they're probably not as marketable as a, you know, traditional hypercoaster. Also, another really cool thing I like about this ride is like under this last turnaround here, you've got like a bunch of cool flowers and stuff, which is awesome. I wish more parks did it. It looks really, really nice. So yeah, Goliath, great. It really surprised me. It's way better than I even expected. Wow. Now it is time for the next coaster, Ednor, which is a Vekoma SLC that originally opened in 1999 at Six Flags Astroworld. But then that park closed, and then it was relocated to Great Escape but never built. And then in 2010 it was relocated here, and I don't know why they relocated it here because they already had a Batman clone, which is practically the same ride but better. So yeah, let's take Ednor for a try. Whoa, there's actually theming in here. That's really cool. Wow, awesome, LaRonde. That's awesome. That's really cool. I did not expect that. Wow. just got off at Ednor, and that was actually a really, really good SLC. It was very smooth, way smoother than like some non-relocated SLCs, which is very, very surprising. Whatever they did here, keep doing it. It's really good. Except the restraints are not as soft as the Elitch Gardens one, so it was still a little less uncomfortable than the one at Elitch, which is still my favorite of the older strains. But like, if they stuck like new vest restraints on that, that would actually be a really, really good ride. But like, it kind of sucks that they put it at this park because they already have Vampire, which is a better version of that, like even if they had vest restraints. So like, why did they put it at this park? I have no idea, and I feel like it's kind of a shame because that is actually like the one good SLC, and it's at a park that already has an inverted coaster, which is sad. So like, they should relocate it to somewhere else that doesn't have an inverted coaster, and because it's like a really good SLC, but like, it should be illegal to relocate SLC, so I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, I guess just keep it here. People like it seems like, I don't know. And now it is time for Dragon, indoor intimate family coaster, which is kind of similar to like Skull Mountain, I think, at Six Flags Great Adventure. I have like no idea what this entails, so let's go ride Dragon. Alright, just got off a Dragon, and I was expecting Skull Mountain coaster in a box and a couple pinholes for light, because, you know, it was a cheap building or whatever. This one was pretty much pitch black, first of all, and then it actually had like good theming, like not great theming, but there was like some dragons and like some crystals, and you got like eaten by a dragon. That was a really, really good ride. Very surprising. I did not think it was gonna, I thought it was just a coaster in a box, but it's not, which is really cool. LaRonde, I give you props for that. And also, like, this area is pretty nice. I like this area a lot. Now I have no idea where I'm gonna go next, but I think I'm gonna head towards the front of the park again and ride, maybe see if Boomerang's open again, or maybe Vampire. So let's go to the front of the park. But now coming from the back of the park to the front of the park, this part of the park looks really ugly, actually. Like, what's with these like multicolored, like rusty buildings? Yeah, LaRonde, fix this, please. So Boomerang's still closed, but it is testing, so that's a really good sign. But yeah, so while I wait, if it opens like right away, it would be nice to ride it right away. I'm gonna ride the Larson Loop Chaos, which has an awesome entrance sign. Like, look at this. It gives me like vibes of Daredevil Dive at Fiesta Texas on a budget, without the real flames, you know. Also, this Larson Loop has like a black top, like the top half of it is black, and it looks really, really nice compared to the normal Six Flags ones. So yeah, let's go on the Larson Loop. Alright, just got off of Chaos, and that was actually one of the smoother Larson Loops I've been on. Some of them have a little bit of a rattle. That one was really smooth, but I mean, I guess it makes sense because that is one of the newer Larson Loops that Six Flags added opening in 2019. So yeah, that was pretty fun. Boomerang still hasn't opened. They've been testing it a lot. It got stuck in one of the spikes a little bit just earlier, so I don't know what's happening with Boomerang. So I'd say let's go somewhere else in the park and come back to Boomerang. Alright, next up we have Vampire, a 2002 Batman clone. Yeah, they're always good rides, but they're always kind of samey, so I know pretty much what to expect going in. But we'll see how Vampire is, but this is basically the better version of Ednor over there, so why the hell did they build Ednor? I don't know, but let's go ride Vampire. Alright, just got off of Vampire, and that has a completely different feeling from any other B&M I ever rode. Some of them you can feel have a little bit, you know, of a rattle, and some of them are like butter smooth, and then like some have like the old roughness and some have the new roughness. It's very interesting, but this one was like very smooth, but you could tell the wheels were like very tight on like the track. There was like no like shake at all, but it was like still kind of rough. Like imagine like how Raptor runs or like Riddler's Revenge at Magic Mountain, but then have less of that roughness. It's very interesting. I never felt a B&M run like that, which is very interesting. But overall, the ride is just a Batman clone. Actually, one of the better ones. I would put it like just below Over Georgia and St. Louis. So pretty good. I like Vampire a lot. Oh yeah, another interesting thing, since it was opened in 2002, it has the exact same station as Batman the Dark Knight at Six Flags New England, which is kind of interesting. They both opened in 2002, and they both have the same station, which is very interesting. Alright, I'm hearing screams from Boomerang, so I think it's open, so let's go ride a beautiful Vekoma Boomerang. Alright, just got off a Le Boomerang, and it's exactly the same as any other Boomerang of Vest Restraints. I've actually ridden quite a bit now, which is very surprising because a while ago I didn't ride like any of Vest Restraints, and now like a bunch of parks just put a bunch of Vest Restraints on Boomerangs, which is a really good thing. But yeah, it's practically identical to like the one at Great Escape or Jolly Rancher Remix or any of those. But one thing is very surprising with this one that I never noticed on another Boomerang for some reason. I don't know why. I was sitting in row 2, and for some reason the railing there for the catwalk on the Cobra Roll has so much head choppers. Like I never noticed how much head choppers that like railing has, but it's crazy. Like you're very close to that railing right there. But otherwise, just a normal Boomerang. Now I'm gonna try to get on Monster, but I don't know if I'm gonna get on it because the capacity is absolutely awful. Alright, just got off a Monster, and that's by far the weirdest wooden coaster I've ever been on. Like, what was that? The layout is so strange. It's so strange. Like, I mean, the first drop isn't even a drop. It just drops down here and goes onto this high up turnaround. And then it kind of like meanders over here, and then it does a really meandering helix over here. And then it goes back over here and does another meandering helix over here. It definitely reminds me of like Iron Rattlers, like on top of the quarry wall. The old Rattler, basically like that meandering quarry wall part, literally exactly the same thing, but this is the entire ride, which is so strange. Also, same like Rattler, it sways like so much. I've never seen a wooden coaster sway that much. Yeah, this thing needs so much help. Like, please, LaRonde, help this poor wooden coaster. RMC it, please. Then LaRonde would actually be like the best park ever. RMC Monster would be crazy. So now it's time for a flat ride, and let's do one I've never done before. Demon, which is a Mondial rollover, which is kind of like a top spin, except it has like this angling arm here, which can make like the whole gondola tilt a little bit. I've never been on a top spin or anything similar to this, so I'm so excited. Just got off a Demon, and I don't know if I really liked it. It was kind of fun, but it did hold you upside down for a little long, you know, where you start to feel like, okay, I'm done being upside down. Yeah, and then the rest of the ride is kind of like, just like weird, like sideways holding there thing. It doesn't really do much. It's not really that fun, but it's kind of fun. I don't know, I might have to try it again to see if I like it that much, but you know, it's okay ride. It's pretty good, but yeah, it's not for everyone. And now I think it's time for a beautiful husk condor over there. The last one I rode like a couple days ago at Great Escape, and that one was very weird cycle, so we'll see how this one is. Alright, just got off a condor, and that one was actually really good. I would say comparable to the one at Six Flags Great America. But this one was like freshly refurbished. Everything looked like really nice and fresh, and everything was painted. That is actually a ride that's actually taken care of at this park. From a park that's kind of dilapidated, that ride specifically is very nice. And with that, I am leaving LaRonde. And is it a bad park? Kind of. They have kind of bad roller coasters. The operations are a little slow, and it gets really busy. And the park atmosphere is kind of ugly, not so lovely, as the Medusa ride operator would say. It's just, I don't know. It's just like basically Elitch Gardens with a better collection of roller coasters, and it gets busier. Yeah, it's like it has so much potential because like the setting is amazing, like with downtown Montreal like right over there, the beautiful bridge right there, and then it's on an island here in downtown, so like there's a river like on this side of the park and on that side of the park, and it's really nice. But like inside the park, just a bunch of stuff is just like worn down, and they don't really take advantage of the beautiful setting because there's not really that many places you can see the water. So I feel like with a lot of improvement and investment, this could be like a really beautiful park, but right now it's just okay. Like, see, one of these both of these fountains are working, these fountains are not working. Just little stuff like that needs a lot of improvement, but otherwise it's a pretty good park. I'd probably rank it above Elitch Gardens, but yeah, they just need a little bit more improvement and maybe some more newer attractions, because their headliner is Goliath, and that's very good. But then they got a boomerang and an SLC that they probably should rip out. But overall, LaRonde is okay. It's definitely not a park that I'm like begging to come back to, but it's kind of a fun time, and the setting's cool, so yeah. Anyway, that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and coaster it. Bye!